Now in the Black Box with Spider Loke, Most Easty, a.k.a. BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Listen. Gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the Black Box. Black Box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets. Yeah. It's time for R&R.
Nightwood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my SPR, Spotter Loke. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
It's a beautiful day in the Black Box. The constant, consistent, continuous content creation campaign continues. This is a little bit somewhat educational, I guess, a lot educational, because it seems as if this whole immigration drama or saga, whatever you will call it, that's been going on, there's this thing called the Birthright citizenship, and it's been utilized by immigrants to somewhat overstay their welcome outside of becoming U.S. citizens here on this soil. And there's big controversy about it, and Trump had declared that that's not constitutional for current times because this birthright citizenship was put in place for children of slaves. And the Supreme Court, surprisingly enough, just agreed with Trump on a very controversial issue. And we can learn a little bit something about this right now. With no further ado, let's see what Trump and them politicians have been up to.
Good morning. Well, this was a big one, wasn't it? This was a big decision. An amazing decision, one that we're very happy about. This morning, the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the presidency itself. That's what they've done. And really, it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country. I've seen such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades. And we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century, me. I'm grateful to the Supreme
You a convict. You a different type of president, sir.
Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion brilliantly, as well as Chief Justice Roberts, and Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Great people. Thanks for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was.
Isn't that the American way? The black people struggle, fight, protest, kick down doors, and then all the other ethnic groups come in on the coattail of that and benefit from policies that were established on the backs of blacks. Isn't that the American way? I'm just used to it. I'm just saying, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
The same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. It was meant for the babies of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people. We have so many of them. I have a whole list. I'm not going to bore you, and I'm going to have Pam get up and say a few words, but there's really, she could talk as long as she wants, because this is a very important decision. This is a decision that covers a tremendous amount of territory. But I want to just thank again the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant. It's a giant. And they should be very proud, and our country should be very proud of the Supreme Court today.
Long story short, what you're basically hearing is that the Supreme Court
Yeah, break it down for us, brother. Me in particular. Oh, blah.
ruled in favor of Trump because Trump had basically signed an executive order that said that we needed to end birthright citizenship in the United States of America. And now, of course, I'm going to do some review videos of some misinformation that people crying about and all of that. And so that'll be released later on today. But basically what has happened is that he did an executive order to basically kill birthright citizenship because there were a lot of people that were coming in the country that were using this loophole to then get citizenship for their children. So, for example, the Asian community is huge, China in particular, for doing that. And that they were looking to get their children dual citizenship. So what they would do is they would come over here under the guise of just coming on vacation, but in reality, they were really trying to make sure that they had their babies here and they were pregnant. And so what they would do is they would come over to the country and then they would have their children here on American soil. And then they would take their children back to China, or when they would come back or whatever, their children would then be granted citizenship in the United States of America because they were born on American soil. Similarly, the same thing was happening when it came to children of illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants that came over here in the United States of America. Parents would have children here in the United States of America, and that's why you see so many people on social media saying, yeah, my parents came over here undocumented, and they deserve to be here because they've been here for a long time. They never filed to get their papers. They never actually went through the immigration process. Some of them were actually committing additional crimes and so on and so forth. And so you had a bunch of people that weren't really from this culture talking negatively about the United States of America while not at the same time adding value. And they feel entitled to be here because their parents illegally came here and they had children here in the United States of America. But those children are now granted citizenship because their parents, first generation parents.
That's the same logic of reparations being withheld and people who have inherited wealth from their forefathers who did and acted atrocities upon our people that was slavery in this country, but negate the logic that reparations should be due. And you're connecting generations. And you're describing one generation suffering for the decisions of another. And I think they both correlate just as well.
Came over here to finesse the system in order to take advantage of it. The birthright citizenship was, let me blow this up a little bit. Birthright citizenship was for, as Trump indicated, descendants of slaves. So people that were sold over here into slavery, and once they then were freed, they had nowhere else to go. So instead of them being deported or sent back to wherever it is that they came from, None of these children had ever known anything except for the United States of America, because slavery had lasted hundreds of years inside of the United States. So much so to where they were actually bred here at the slave owner's request. And let's be clear, there were black slave owners too, right? So when you think about the fact that none of these children or none of their parents even had the choice of whether or not they wanted to be inside of the United States of America, and then their ancestors and generations before them, once those children were then free people inside of the United States of America, there needed to be a pathway to legal citizenship. And one of the ways in which they did that was birthright citizenship. It was meant for descendants of slaves. It was meant for the children of slaves. So now when you see all of these people arguing, including your favorite politician sitting there and saying, well, no, Trump is wrong. No, they shouldn't end birthright citizenship, is because they came over here on a program that wasn't meant for them and they felt entitled to it because they had been taking advantage of it for so long. But in reality, they didn't deserve it. It wasn't meant for them.
That's so many other groups who even holler about civil rights. Civil rights is such a general term now in America, but civil rights were also established to consider the rights that were not given to us, such as the phrase BLM. It was like saying BRM, Black Rights Matter. Oh, my mama.
And now, because we have no more people that need to be legal citizens as a result of being brought over here as slaves, right? Brought over here as your parents or grandparents and your parents before that were slaves, because we no longer have a need for that, it needs to be abolished. So when you see people that are complaining and saying, oh my God, I can't believe it, Trump, bad man orange, same old, like you always see it, basically you're seeing people speak either out of ignorance or they're voluntarily ignorant to the idea that this should have been gone a long time ago and people needed to close this loophole, because you can't have people coming over here illegally, not even brought here illegally, but coming over illegally through their own will to finesse the system and then get legal citizenship for their children and then feel entitled to the same things that you should get without going through the legal process of becoming natural citizens. It's not right. And so Trump is closing the loophole. He's doing the thing that's right for America, and that empowers us to continue to make sure that we get people up out of here that's not supposed to be here in the first place. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for 20% off for life. It is so awesome. Life is good. Life is awesome. Trump has been winning on every single front. He's also announced that he signed a trade deal with China. They don't want to give him his credit. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Gotta let him get all that off. If he allows us to react to his content, I salute the trade deal with China. Definitely affects me personally. Work had been kind of slow when them tariffs was in effect some weeks ago, but it's starting to flow. We can get that dough. So I'm happy about that for sure, you know. Oh, my mama, keep it a Google.
Google gang, straight legend. Google gang, SBI. Google gang, Google gang in here. You better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, baby.
Bottom line, love life, show us a blessing. Pull up politic and blow us a session. Spot a locomost easty. No mistake in the station. They making them statements. We waking and baking. Word of the day, EC on replay. The marijuana-thon with VJ Keyway. BS and BS. Killing on the track in the black box. We never put feelings over facts. Pay Machiavelli, run me the bread. I don't get mad, I get money instead. I be high, you can tell by a nigga eyes. But wise enough to enterprise, you dig a lies. Contemplating with the Google gang, conversating. Counting coins while these cowards in the comments hating. Only thing count, my count getting another comma. I'm a magnet to the money on my mother mama.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google, gang.
If you can't keep it a Google, then don't mention me. Run a check through the set, I bet them niggas mention me. Red Bull and Hennessy, I keep the same energy. No matter on a solo or a couple homies with me. Tell them come get me if they want confrontation. I keep a couple shooters with me. And we right here waiting on shit to pop off. Take a nigga top off, you tempt me. All that BS, you can miss me. Slide down Century, doing about 60 in the gutter lane. Faded off yak and drop the pistol, hopping out the rain. I won't change, keep it a Google the only way. Mention me, I come out and play. That's on the gang. We're not the same. I ain't nothing like these rap niggas. Hanging with bangers, no bodyguards, we all strapped, nigga. All truth, no lies, facts over feelings. We ain't gonna start something we can't finish. Google gang.
Better keep that shit a Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, better keep it a Google. Keep that shit Google when you mention me. First sign of disrespect, I'm turning Hercules. It's gonna be a lot of shirts pressed, rest in peace. Keep it a Google, you better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. You better keep it a Google. Better keep it a Google. Keep it a Google. Google gang.
Neighborhood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga is Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
It's Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the fuck?
My nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Blood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Blood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, Craig.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon.
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the black box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!